And I learned some interesting things yesterday because I did I have a second profile that I started to like check things out real quick, you know, and see how most of the things worked. So I like a more informed playthrough, I guess. So one thing I did figure out that I really kind of don't like much is the encounter rate. Actually, not encounter rate, encounter system. Because... so we have Terramon right here. And let's say I wanted another Terramon. So I could like have a bunch of... so I can get like most of the stuff from his Digi-evolution tree. If his okay, I'll show it off right here. So a little circle bar that fills up slowly with some stuff. If you want more of that same Digimon, let's say his scan thing was 25. You would need to essentially battle him 4 times to get one of him. And let's say you Digi-evolve him and you get something you don't want. You know, like, you say, oh, that Digimon looks cool. And so, you find out, oh, this thing sucks. But, like, he has another Digimon in his evolution tree that's really good. You would essentially have to find 4 more of him. Then go to this area called the Digilab. And you would have to go through like this entire menu system to essentially have him. I love that it's guaranteed that you're gonna get the Digimon. I just don't like you have to encounter him essentially 4 to 5 times, depending on like his scan. So like these little dudes. They go up in increments of 30. So, 4 times, you would get 120, which starts an entirely new bar that carries over after you get after you go to the Digilab and you get them. Now, there's a little dude around here I really want to get named Tsunomon. And Tsunomon has 2 very interesting Digi-evolution paths. You have Gabumon, which if you guys have watched Season 1, he evolves into Garulamon and Were-Garulamon. And you would essentially get, by the end of the tree, you would get Omnimon, which is the final evolution of Were-Garulamon and War-Greymon. But I don't want to get Tsunomon for that, because he has a more interesting evolution line for Beamon. See right here, scan complete. See that little green bar? Once I get him as a Digimon, and it will carry over the 20%. But we don't want that. We want Tsunomon. But Tsunomon is a rarer encounter. Oh, my remote just dropped. But yeah, so like, I don't know if you guys are cool with me having, like, a second profile just for, like, research reasons. You know, play through the game. So, like, I could actually show off more to you guys through this profile. I also have a little poll on my Twitter where I asked if you guys would enjoy like me doing like tips and tricks video, even though this game's been out a few years. Like I know there's already like tons. Oh, here he is, Tsunamon. Let's see what your skill is on, buddy. But I already have like a kind of sort of team in mind for this. But the Digimon I chose in my other profile was Harguramon, the little gear dude.
なんだか不思議な感じだな。子供の頃にこんなことがあった気がするんだよね。君と新とも会ったことがあるような。昨日チャットで会ったとかそういう意味じゃなくって。あれ？でもなんか
Oh, hey Ben.
変。
I was just going over some stuff we're currently looking for in this area.
何今の？君も見た？またハッキング？もう本当なんなの？行こう。この先にあなたがいるんだよね。
Also, I need your opinion on something. Do you think it's okay to have a second profile in a game just for like research purposes and like to check what's ahead in a game? You know, like future boss fights and stuff. So like I could be more prepared on like on like my main profile.
What is this video? Kimiwari. Chikshou. What is this? Suげえ嫌な気分だ。
ああ、いたいた。ちょっともう一人で勝手に行くとか？どんだけ自己中かませばよかですか。
This guy still creeps me out. I don't think that's a Digimon, dude.
まさか噂で聞いたエデンの黒い怪物か？データを食い漁ってるとかいう。
Excuse me.
お前らこっちへ走れ。なんだかわかんねえが相当ヤバそうだ。こいつのロックを解除する。ログアウトしてとっとと逃げるぞ。 走れっつってんだろ。グズグズしてんじゃねえ。
No need to be a douche, my guy.
おい。
君たち
AK, two of the cutest things ever.
僕たちがノキアを守る。
Oh yeah, that's Agumon and Gabumon.
逃げてノキア。
Fun fact about this fight, no matter what you do, everything's just going to do 0 damage. So that's why I feel like it's just best to guard the entire fight. I don't have any opinions on unwinnable fights. I'm part of that little group where we're just in the middle, where you can see where they're necessary, but also it was like, hey, it's just kind of BS. Once again, douche. No need for that. If you were in her shoes, you'd probably be feeling the same as her. Like, perfect situation for an unwinnable fight is like where it's like in the middle of a game and it's there just to prove that you're still not hot crap. Like, you cheese through a bunch of boss fights and there's just that one unwinnable fight just to prove you're not the best thing ever. And we're going to be streaming for 2 hours today. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy 2. I actually own that. And an unexpected error occurred during logout process for Chloe Ayaba. The logout process cannot continue. The logout process cannot continue. The logout process cannot continue. The logout process will continue. First thing that came into mind when I was reading that text was SAO shtick of you cannot log out. The game's alive and crap. Whoa, the model's actually changed. Okay, so other profile, I was playing as a dude. The dude main protagonist. And it was 3 separate models. Completely different. So I find that kind of cool.
なんだよあいつ気味悪い。
こら天下の講堂のど真ん中で何騒いでんだ。まとめて逮捕すんぞ。あ
あ、不敬さんこっちに。
誰が不敬さんだ。誰が刑事さんだ。刑事さん見た目だけで物事判断してんじゃねえ。逮捕すんぞ。んあ、うわなんだありゃ。どうなってんだ。キモいから逮捕。そこ逮捕。
Oh yeah, my favorite character in the entire game.
面白い姿をしているな君は。実に興味深い。乗りたまえ。厄介なことになる前に。おい待てそこの車。止まらねえと逮捕するぞ。こら
The Final Fantasy II.
人よりは奇妙な現象に慣れている方なんだが。
The whole thing was that it was just a mess. Like, Pro Jared's video is the best way to explain it. The whole game is just a hot mess. Like, all the good bits cannot just help that game at all. I enjoyed the weapon system. But playing the game for 10 minutes and finding out about the weapon system itself, only time I'm gonna cuss during this entire stream, but I shit you not. 10 minutes into the game, I was already dealing 500 damage with an unarmed character. But the most BS part of it was the health system. The way you gain health, or upgrade your hit points, basically. Most BS part. The way to perfectly do that, I have no words to describe a game like that. I don't know if this technically counts or not, but best way to describe a unwinnable boss is, once again, it's very hazy to me, but I just kind of remember it, but I don't at the same time. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. You start off the game as Alucard, and you have basically all the best gear. You're basically like the baddest dude around until you get to Dracula, which he takes all your stuff away, and then you start the game. That's the perfect way to like set up an unwinnable boss fight. Is you have all your stuff just taken away from you, and you get put back at the beginning of the game. Okay, but also, whole thing around this lady right here. Very beautiful woman. Has some interesting features. But she very interesting character, but so the whole situation with your body and her, I don't want to say it is, but it's like a Persona 4 reference. I'll show you when we get to it. But I was going to talk about her for a little bit, but this part of the game you'll already find out.
ここは新宿だ。仕事で探し物をしていてね。 偶然通りかかって君を見つけたのさ。自分で言うのもなんだが、あらましは嘘のような誠だ。今は中野にある私の事務所へ向かっている。そこで詳しい事情を聞かせてもらおう。君の体は極めてデジタルな状態にあるように見える。まるで電脳空間からアバターのまま現実世界に飛び出したような。もしも本当にそうだとしたら実に興味深い現象だ。いや、周囲に君以外の人物はいなかったはずだ。ひょっとすると君の友達も君と同じような姿をしているのかな。そうか、友達のことは気にするなとは言えないが、私も誰か。そうか、自己紹介がまだだったな。最初に名乗るべきだったが、君の存在があまりにも興味深くてね、すっかり失念してしまっていたよ。すまない。私は呉見京子、しがない探偵さ。
Okay, but oh yeah, so here's my second profile. As you can see right there, it says Detective Agency. She is a cyber detective. And as you can see right there, it says Prologue Eden. Her whole thing is, after you get done with the first area, you will find out about this thing called Eden Syndrome, which is kind of like, if you've seen the anime 18 If, it's like Cinderella Syndrome, where you're just in this deep sleep, no way of getting out of it. And then that's when we'll meet another very interesting character.
なるほど、経緯は把握した。君が電脳空間からログアウトして出現したという新宿のあの場所は。
Oh yeah, would you like me to like read this to you? Like I asked that yesterday, but nobody really answered. So, like, I'll just read out this like one little sentence from Kyokyo. That place in Shinjuku, the one where you appeared when you logged out from cyberspace. It's the same or very similar to the place you logged into Eden at, isn't it?
Hmm. では、今こうして私と会話している君とはまた別の体がどこかに存在するわけだ。
It's just kind of after playing Infamous, I was like kind of used to like the lines being read, and when I picked up the game, I didn't know it was just gonna be you know, like subtitled. That's something I should have researched, but well, you're here talking to me now, but it seems there's another body out there for you as well.
肉体から精神データが分離してしまい、個別の存在として現実世界に現れた。
And the whole thing with our character right now is our body is like an aether. Best word to describe it. It's like aether, where it's there, but it's not. Another word to describe it's like in a limbo-esque place. Maybe your mental data was separated from your physical body and manifested in the real world independently.
それとも何らかの理由で新宿に移動した肉体が壊れたデータの怪人のような姿に変化した。
Or maybe your body was somehow moved from Shinjuku, where it was corrupted into the form you have now.
いずれにしろ奇妙奇天烈な話ではあるが、 目の前にまさしく摩訶不思議な姿をした君がいる。
The whole situation is entirely too peculiar, yet here you are standing before me as much as that shouldn't make
現段
sense.
階では状況証拠による単純な推理しかできない。早速情報収集を進めよう。
At present, I can only form a simple hypothesis. We need to gather more information and
まずは
quickly.
君がエデンにログインした場所の現状を確認するのも定石だろう。君は
Going by the book, you should
どこ
check
で
out
ログイ
where
ンし
you
たんだ？
logged into Eden, which was where.
君は今どこにいる？
Where are you now?
電脳犯罪事件をはじめ多種多様な超常現象事件の解決に確かな実績を誇るクレミ探偵事務所だ。
You are at the Kurumi Detective Agency, which has solved a number of rather bizarre cases, including cybercrimes.
君の身に起こった怪異的現象の謎を解明するのにこれほど頼もしい場所はないだろう。
Wow, he's still trying to get people to the stream. I think of nobody better suited to solving the mystery of what happened to you than right here.
そして君が腰掛けているのは依頼人用のソファー。
And you're even sitting on the sofa for
何？
clients.
依頼報酬の件ならば心配しなくていい。君の存在はすでに何よりの報酬なのだよ。
No need to worry about the compensation. Your very existence is all payment I
大
need.
船にそうだなメアリー・セレスト号あたりに乗り込んだつもりでいなさい。
Let's pretend you're boarded a luxury liner, say the Mary Celeste.
さて話を戻すとしよう。君がどこでログインしたかだが
Anyways, let's go back on track here. Where did you log in but
それより
first?
も何よりも前に君の姿をどうにかしなければいけないな。
We must be doing something about your
その
appearance.
姿ではまともに外を歩くこともできない。それにとても不安定な状態に思える。
You can't even walk around outside like that. It looks pretty unstable as well.
じっくりと観察して確信したが君はまさにデータの塊デジタル体そのものだ。
I've got a good look in your massive data, a true
し
digital
かし
body.
君は私の声を聞きソファーに腰掛け会話している。現実世界の物理法則に従っている証拠だ。つまりリアル特性
A
を持っ
digital
た
body
デジ
with
タル体
real world characteristics. Let's call it a half cyber body.
君の体がデータで構成されているならば
Jesus Christ,
見
this
た
is
目を
longer
どう
than
に
I
かする
remember.
こと自体はさほど難しくないだろう。適合するデータを取り込み君は基本的にはクーロンの放置データの中にアバターパーツのデータが
Oh yeah, I finally learned how to pronounce that word. It's Kowloon. Because I went around, talked to the NPCs on the other profile, and this lady made the joke of Cow Lung Cracker Park. Because at the beginning of the game, you're supposed to go to the Kowloon Hacker Park, so... And through that stupid little joke, I finally learned how to pronounce it.
その状態でログインできるかどうかだな。
Also, this is the Persona 4 reference. Because at the beginning of Persona
な
4,
んだテレビがどうかしたか？
at the beginning of Persona 4, the main character is sitting in front of a TV, and it's raining. So he sticks his hand in the television and almost nearly falls in.
こっちよ飛びなさい。
Over here, jump. Jesus, you're already at 1.2 million in Xenoblade? Just from gold cylinders? Urged on by the voice, I took a leap of faith, but what the heck happened? It looks like I can go forward after all. Okay, and this is basically where you find an easier version of Tsunamon. Through some Digimon called Punimon. I want to see if I can find one real quick. Yeah, there's Punimon, the red one. And if I remember correctly, that guy evolves into like this seal-esque Digimon. And I've been rewatching a few of the Digimon series. Like, I'm on, Tamers right now? Oh, yeah, Botamon, the little black one. He's another important one I really want to get. But Tamers is the most interesting out of what I want to call, like, the kind of old school 3. Tamers involves, like, this kid who plays the Digimon card game, failed product, and he ends up finding, like, this blue Digimon card, and it's like a blank card, so he ends up scanning it in his Digivice, which is apparently, like, really accessible to kids in that world. So he scans it. He basically made his OC Digimon, and the thing ended up coming to life. And there's this other girl who's basically like the Gary Oak of the anime, who has this Digimon called Renamon, which is a humanoid fox. John would love it. It's like, she's basically furry bait. Got no problem with furries, but that's essentially what she is. So, female Gary Oak treats Renamon like trash, only wants to use her for fighting. So the main character of the anime, forgot his name, I don't like him that much, he's kind of like too whiny. So, after his Digimon comes to life, he starts like walking around with it. So that's when female Gary Oak takes her Renamon and starts having it beat the crap out of the main character's Digimon, his OC, named Guillemon. And Guillemon basically has the intelligence of Chucky from Rugrats. I'm not trying to crap on it, it's just true. So Guillemon starts like freaking out and starts attacking, or trying to attack Renamon. So that's when the main character starts crying and saying, Guillemon, you're not supposed to be like that. I'm your tamer. That line basically sums up the first few episodes of the anime. I nearly lost you, but I managed to get a trace. What the heck happened? It looked like you were sucked into the terminal and just disappeared. I see, I'm guessing you passed through the actual network lines themselves. The office terminal is connected to Eden's network. You rode the flow within the wires as data and appeared in Eden. So then work appears as an actual series of roads. Still, it's shocking to see you can make such a direct transition from the real world to the digital one. The submerge in the digital world is just by touching the terminal drive, no a jump. From now I'm just going to call the ability the connection jump. What a happy little unexpected accident. Now you can go look around for avatar part data. Head to Kowloon. But yeah, so within like the first 3 to 4 episodes of Tamers, there's 2 fights involving Renamon and Guillamon, and then there's Terramon, who's like the sweetest little thing in the world. Well, when she digivolves. Actually, is it? I actually don't know if it's a she or a he in the series. Guess I should go in the direction of that voice. So Terramon ends up being the first of like the main character 3 to digivolve. Into basically the Gunzerker from Borderlands. Here's Best Girl. Also, you can hear my voice. Welcome to the Digilab. The place has a faint connection with the digital world, a paradise for Digimon.
知らないなら知らないで特に問題ないわ。今のところはね、時が来ればおのずと知ることになるはずだから。I'm a sucker for girls with purple hair. デジタルモンスターラボラトリー。私はデジラボをおすすめしているわ。私があなたはデジモンと深く交わり始め、その運命の交差に私は引き寄せられ、つまり私はあなたに呼ばれたのよ。話はこれくらいにしましょう。まずはここがどういう場所か自分の目で確かめてみて。
Okay, so this is where you buy all the expensive food. Now here's the main attraction. So we have all these Digimon. The main ones I want are Bodemon and Punimon. Bodemon gets you Koromon, and Punimon gets you Tsunamon. Now, the reason I want Bodemon for Koromon is so I can get a completely different Digimon than Agumon. Also, another fun fact. Your main party is like a gacha game type deal, where you can only have like a certain amount of memory, as it says here, 422. So we're gonna take Bodemon. right here is the main dude I want. Now for Punimon, right there, Tsunamon. Here's the farm. That's basically, it's like a training center for your Digimon. Essentially like the daycare from Pokemon. And this heals you for the cost of 200 yen. And this is for online battles. Now right here is the mirror dungeon. We're gonna do this real quick so I can train up my baby Digimon so I can evolve them. Wow, I'm not getting in any battles. This is bad. Okay, here we go. Now, baby Digimon evolve at level 5. And since I have some of the free DLC, this is what I was told from a video, there's a special Digimon I can get called Hackmon, which evolves into a really awesome Digimon called Justamon. Yeah, you get him, little Poyamon. One more fight should do it. Oh yeah, and something interesting about the game. So, when the game first came out, all the way up until February, when you bought the game, you would get all the pre-order DLC with it. And now the only country that still gives you the DLC with it is the PAL region, aka Europe, places like that. Which the pre-order DLC gives you a few special Agumons. Yeah, here he is. Winyamon. Punimon. Huh. Let's go to Tsunamon. Poyamon. Oh yeah, here's a special Digimon. Tokomon. Here he is, Lucimon. Or Petamon. I think that's Bird Dude. Only getting specific Digimon. He's so cute. Yeah, here he is, Seal Dude. So now I'm gonna go to my party. I want Wanemon and Tsunamon. So now we can talk to her. She'll say, oh yeah, you understood everything. Yes, I understand the Digilab. I will use it to the best of my advantage. Yeah, we got hacking skills now. So the firewall at the beginning of the game, we can get past that. That's all she's like saying, that we should use our hacking abilities to be honorable. Which are main character, so we will. So yeah, we're back in Kowloon. See right here. Yeah, right here. So we're gonna get a spiel here about junk data and how we're gonna rebuild our body with it, and also how she knows I'm May. We're trying to cut down time so we can get to Digimon hunting. So yeah, our body's literally gonna be made out of junk now. So, oh, here's a kind of funny political joke. Our body is literally made out of Hillary's emails. So yeah, we got Koromon. And there's our legs. So, with Tsunamon, we have some special things to do for him. First off, he needs to be level 6, and we need to get his cam up to 10%, which you get cam from being on, like, the party. So his cam is 2%. Now his Terramon's is 24% because he's been at the party longer. Wanemon should, yeah, Wanemon, you're cool, dude. Sorry, my hand grazed the mic. Also, Terramon I chose because of the all attack. Wanemon, use your bubbles. Which we're gonna learn about target stuff. This is super effective to her. You should have bubbles too. Now Terramon attacks. And Terramon gets to attack again. Where were you when we were looking for you, buddy? I think there should be some junk data over here. Oh yeah, I forgot to get the treasure chest right here. Little spitball Babymon. Oh no, Waynemon! Cool thing about poison in this game, it instantly goes away after battle. So if we look, Waynemon's not poisoned. Also, I apologize if I'm not like the most interesting commentator. I don't know how to sound interesting or talk about anything interesting besides like what's on topic about the video. Sorry, I'm gonna have to let my cat in. I think so. Well, also, I think 90% of them count as, like, viruses. Field guide. Like, come on, where's, like, one yeah, like, right here. They're, like, categories by, like, virus and vaccine and stuff. Mr. Kitty, can you please stop? But like, if you guys are interested, I could tell you about like my history with Digimon. Because that can be interesting. So, as a kid, I wasn't like really interested in Pokemon or anything. Like the era I grew up in, it was like the after effects of Pokemania, so like there were still people talking about like, oh, Pokemon is... So for like the first 5 to 7 years of my life, I wasn't like surrounded by Pokemon. It was more of like a subculture at my like daycare, because you had like the Power Ranger kids, the kids that like only like to read books, and the artists and stuff, you know, like little subgroups. And yeah, cool thing about my daycare was they allowed you to bring like portable game systems. So their kids were always like bringing their DS's, their Game Boys. One kid brought his PSP, which that was kind of cool for a little bit, until all he played was like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z games. And his mom wouldn't buy him a DS, so he would literally lend it off to kids to play their Pokemon games. So when I got my DS, which was on my 9th birthday, I brought it to the daycare, and funniest thing, or ironic thing, was it was like a special edition Diamond and Pearl one. So it's like a black DS with a white Dialga outline and a like pinkish, yeah, it was like a pinkish gold outline for Palkia. But I didn't get any Digimon games with it. I got like a bunch of Dragon Quest games. That was cool. And there's this one kid there. His name was Dakota. And the dude, he was obsessed with Dragon Quest, but he wasn't allowed to play any of the DS games. He either wasn't allowed to, or his mom just didn't want to buy him for him. So, as soon as he found out I had, like, a few of them, dude, lucky. My daycare was like this, it was like part of a church. But no, this dude Dakota, he straight up like would ask me. Oh god, I'm burping a lot today, but so one day he just straight up asked me if he could borrow one of my Dragon Quest games. Biggest mistake, his mom worked there, and she saw me hand one of my Dragon Quest games over to him for his copy of Pokemon Leaf Green. And so she straight up told the headmaster of the place that we were trading, and for some reason this like peter off to the extreme. So she took me to this area because the way they had it set up, there was like this huge backyard area which led into the baby area when you went inside, and then there was like the main hub basically. And she took me to the baby area, and she was like, "Do you have your DS on you?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "I would like my son's game back." And I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "I know you have his game, and if you don't want me to tell your parents that you stole it, hand it to me now." And I was like, "Dude, I didn't steal his game." So I handed her the copy of Leaf Green, and she rudely slapped the copy of Dragon Quest IX into my hand and said, "Never do this again or we will ban all game systems from place." So I was straight up just like, what? And this is the type of people that work there. Any game system they would call a Game Boy. So she didn't use the phrase game systems. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "We will ban all of your Game Boys from this establishment." Here's the funniest part. She was the freaking cook. So there's this like 30-something-year-old cook whose son goes to the daycare for free just because she works there. Just yelling at me in the back room. And the time I got to the daycare, it was at like 5 because my grandma had to, she worked just up the road at this restaurant. So I had to be there like really early in the morning, so I'm still just like waking up as I'm getting yelled at by this basically just, I don't even know how to describe her. God, no, Mr. Kitty. But yeah, so I'm just waking up as I'm getting yelled at for something I thought was like pretty okay. And it wasn't like one of those permanent trades where it's like no trade backs. It was just like, oh hey, I'll let you play this for a week if you let me play this for a week. So and this, I don't know if this is karma or not, but a week later, she ended up having to be, like, hospitalized because she had, like, a minor stroke due to, like, stress levels. Yay. Level 7. Also, another thing. When she would yell at you and stuff, the headmaster would put her in her place. And always used the threatening phrase of, if you want your kid to still be here and you don't have to pay for it, shut your mouth and get back to work. Oh yeah, and when we would get punished at the daycare, they would take us back into the church area. And this church was like huge. But yeah, it was like this huge church. And Mr. Kitty, stop! Bad! Stop trying to knock over the table! Yeah. The size of the church, which also led into the backyard area, which led into the baby area. The way it was built was really nice, too. Hey, here's the guy who tells you about Eden syndrome, but... So, the church area. It was about the size... I don't know how to describe it, but... There were like these really long pews, and there was like 14 of them in a row, and there was 2 rows of them, like on each side of the building. And the punishments were very weird too. Like, if you got in trouble, they would send you to the church area. And they would hand you a Bible and a pencil, along with some paper, and they would tell you to write, like, these weird sentences. Where each sentence began with, "Father, please forgive me." And then you would have to write down, like, what you did. So, like, if you hit another kid, you would have to write, like, 30 sentences for... And the sentences would literally be, "Father, please forgive me for... I did not mean... Father, please forgive me for... hitting... Insert the kid's name here. I shall not do it again, Father." And you would have to write that, like, 30 times. Oh, that's not even the beginning of it. If you were like a really bad kid, they would make you do like military-esque punishments. Like,
それ
it
で
went from like
何か事件ですか
sentences to being you're put into a
依頼で
corner,
したらどうぞソファーにかけてお待ち
and weirdest
今美
one,
味しいコーヒーを入れて
they would call your parents and ask if they could spank you. And after the spanking, it literally just got absurd.
聞かせてい
Like, we're talking, they would take you to this outside area, and they would make you do sun glides, which is like, it's like basically like making a T-pose, but you have to like move your arms around, it's like small semicircles. They make you do that for like 30 minutes. Like, as far as my punishments went, I had to write like 2 sets of
この子
sentences
なら大丈夫ですよおじそれにある種
and
のスペシャリストにな
maybe
り得る
like
素質があります
at least like 10 minutes in a corner. That was like the extent of my punishment. But yeah, that's going off track. So here's where it got really bad. So the headmaster and her assistant teacher, which was her like sister or some chick, she called her sister, but they did not look alike
お願いします
or anything. But yeah, so the headmaster and his sister would walk around the room of like the kids playing games, and they'd be all like, "What game are you playing?" So you know, I would be all like, "Oh, I'm playing Dragon Quest IX." So she her computer, look it up, and you know, like read up on it. And if it had anything to like do with Satan or anything like blasphemous, like killing of God or anything, she would straight up snatch up your DS and put it in her like drawer thingy. The reason I'm saying thingy is because yeah, so she would snatch it up, put it in her desk drawer thingy. Once again, the reason I'm calling it a thing is because you had to like open up a separate cabinet to get to it. It was like a filing cabinet, but it was also like a cupboard.
はい
Or she would just take the game out and just put it in there and wait for your parents to pick you up, and she'd be like, "This game has to do with Satan," or it promotes this like
ようやく
all the kids who were like playing Pokemon and crap. They got their games taken. So we would have to end up like playing crap like Monopoly for like an entire afternoon.
聞いての通りエデン症候群
This is one of those people who hate Darwinism.
エデンで異変これはグいいな私はこれから
Yeah, I was in this daycare till I was like 12.
君の状態に求めよ
So sometimes my games would be taken on like a daily basis. This stopped after like a year. And my brother was also in this daycare when he was like born. But yeah, so by the time I was 12, I could not be in that daycare anymore. So I was taken out. And when my brother was taken out, so let's see, we're 7 years apart. He was like 5. He was like 5 or 6. And what he would tell me is that they like stopped taking people's games, but they were incorporating more schoolwork. Here's the entire thing. It was a church, a daycare, and a Kickstart program. For y'all who don't know what a Kickstart program is, it's like school before school. And that's the main reason my parents enrolled me, was for the Kickstart program. And you're basically put into the Kickstart program until you reach a certain age range. It was usually like before you started school. So most kids start school at like the age of 7 or something. I don't know. I started school when I was like 6 or 7. Yeah, so you're put into the Kickstart program until you hit school, and then you just go into a regular daycare program where it's like you color stuff, you watch a movie, you know, you eat your lunches, you eat your snack. Yeah, so I was put into the Kickstart program until I was like 6 or 7, and that's when I started kindergarten. The cool thing about this daycare was they would like drop you off at your school, you want to know about the special ward? I'm sorry, we have a policy against revealing patients' personal information. Yeah, so in the Kickstart program, they would teach you, you know, basic math, how to read, how to write. And this is where my problems with a church and a Kickstart program begin. So, yeah, you learn how to read, you learn how to write, all that good stuff. I'm sorry, I'm just busy right now. We're short-handed with both doctors and nurses. So, my problem with the Kickstart program was if you didn't do something their way, you got punished. Which goes back to my whole statement of, so you want to know dirt on the special ward? Well, I've got some. Apparently there's some isolation ward where not even family can visit. So if you didn't do something their way, like if you wrote your name a certain way or you wrote it sloppy, you'd get punished. So that's where like the sentences came in. The sentences were mainly for the Kickstart kids. You know, they would even send you home with homework, which was like, yeah. One floor above the general ward is the special ward, and it's meant for patients with particularly difficult illness. So, I was in the Kickstart program until I was 6 or 7, and that's mainly where I got my punishments. You know, Kickstart kids, that's what they called you. So the Kickstart kids were basically put into 2 separate groups, and you would get like 10 to 15 minute breaks in between sessions. I gotta go take care of my Digimon. But yeah, so Kickstart program, you got your 10 to 15 minute breaks in between where you learn your math, your science, your reading, your writing, all that stuff. And science was not fun. Mr. Kitty, stop! They would literally avoid some parts of science. You know, you're supposed to learn the rock cycle, you're supposed to learn this, you're supposed to learn that. We learned nothing about that. It was Christian Science. God dang it, Mr. Kitty, stop! Like, we didn't even go over some of the interesting stuff that you're supposed to learn in general science. You know how, like, Jesus turned water into wine? You're here to see your daddy. It wasn't fun at all. The main thing the Kickstarter program did for me was actually just help me with math a little bit. And, you know, it looked really good at this private school that I went to. Yes, before going to a normal school, basically public school system, I was in a private school. So, in the private school, they looked at... We can ride the elevator to the special ward floor, but we can't enter the room without permission. It goes without saying that we have no such permission, and what do we do now? But so... in the private school, the kids gotta get approved, and you gotta pay a certain amount of money each month. And the approval rate for the school that I went to wasn't that great. And you were lucky to get approved. Wait, actually I think I'm supposed to do something. But the approval rate wasn't that great. I was lucky to get approved. It was the worst school I've ever been to. But that was the only thing the Kickstarter program actually did well for me, was it got me approved for a private school. But so I would have to go from the private school back to the daycare for 2.5 years. And usually the ladies, aka the headmaster and the assistant headmaster, they would usually say, yeah, they would usually ask you, you know, what did you learn today? Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. And if you told them anything science, they would try to debunk it. You know, like, I told the headmaster, oh, I learned the rock cycle today. And that just pissed her off. But so, once you get back from normal school, since you're on the Kickstart program anymore, you basically get a free pass. You just get to sit around for an entire afternoon, get your snack, and just no bite. Bad, Mr. Kitty. God dang it, Cornwallis. Can you be good for once in your life? Well, okay then. But so, since I wasn't in the Kickstart program anymore, I wasn't required to, like, do my... homework. Since I was in school again. And my parents wouldn't believe me. When I told them about, like, how bad the Kickstart program was. Oh god, I guess I had to cut short today. My internet connection's screwing up. See you guys.